Hello all, and welcome to another top 3 video, and in this video I'm going to talk about the top 3 FGC games that must be rebooted on the next gen consoles, as I do miss playing older games that I grew up with from my childhood. Now this video is based on my opinion, and the games that I picked out are not based on favoritism, so please type in any of the FGC games in the description. Anyways, let's get started. Now before I get too ahead of myself, allow me to explain the reason why bloodyroar needs a reboot on the next gen consoles. Now as of this recording, Konami owned the rights to the game, as Hudson got bankrupt. So just bring it out already. I mean, everyone has been asking for this game to come out for years, as it was, in my opinion, one of the most interesting fighting games to play and watch, as I've only played one bloodyroar game, that being bloodyroar Primal Fury on the GameCube. However, I have witnessed all the other titles before, and after this one, now I was at first blown away with the development and gameplay and graphics that it was able to dish out. However, I have two major problems that killed off this game faster than Dead or Alive 6. 1. The story mode was really confusing to get a massive understanding, as Hudson kept on changing the story multiple times with every title, whilst giving out lazy dialogue too. Characters were either being replaced without any explanation as to what happened to them. Also, bloodyroar 4 was where the game was dead and buried, as they were trying to push everyone into the new game mechanic, where players had basically 2 life bars instead of the original beast meter. Now I won't go into any specific details, since I don't fully understand the game. However, we'll show a clip of these 2 differences.
Fight!
On top of that, the game felt rushed, as the voices and subtitles looked and felt unsynchronized when looking at each character's story cutscenes and endings. Now on to pick number 2. Now this second pick was one that I was always curious about, as when I do look at a game like Virtualfighter, I always wondered what happened to this game, as it has till this day one of the most smoothest graphics and gameplay that I've ever seen, and it still looks good on any of old gen consoles. However, I do hear that the game was very hard to master. However, it does contain a tutorial with specific details on what to do in any situation. So on paper, the game itself sounds interesting to play. However, the game story mode is somewhat mediocre and at time repetitive against certain characters. That's if you have played this game yourself. So overall, I do feel like this game needs a massive reboot on next gen consoles, as everyone in the FGC want this game back, as this was one of the popular games on the Xbox 360 and PS3, Xbox 360 and PS3 consoles. Now let's look on to my last pick. Now this last pick was, in my opinion, the hardest pick, since I have no massive understanding or knowledge of this game besides the other 2 titles. However, I wanted to show all of you that there were other older fighting games, plus I wanted to extend my knowledge beyond the casual FGC games that I know of. Anyways, let's get into this. Now this game was developed by a company called Virtual Lightweight, and the gameplay was similar to that of Soul Calibur 6 pointers. Both mechanics requires each character to use a specific weapon. However, when it comes to the story design, Bushidoblade is more of an arcade-based sort of story, as every character has an individual ending. Now this game might not come out, due to how long it has been since the last title came out. However, I will give this game credit, as everything from the story to the game play look good to an extent, plus the stages aren't so bad, as you can still move around and away from objects and platforms with ease. Now before I go, make sure to add anything that I have missed out on in the comment section of this video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Make to share, like and subscribe, and in a bit.